Hi, welcome to the Recovery Daily Podcast. I'm your host, Rachel Abassi. I'm a grateful recovering alcoholic and stroke survivor. And today I want to talk about summer sobriety. We read in my morning meeting this morning a passage from Living Sober about being careful about overelation. And what that made me think about is summertime, because I love summertime. The hotter, the better. I love when it's 100 degrees outside. I don't necessarily like when you can't breathe in the humidity, but I totally love the summertime. The thing is, though, that the summertime makes me think of drinking. And I feel like it makes me think of drinking a little more than the wintertime does. Which is interesting because that's when all the holidays are. So I wanted to talk that through and share with you my experience, strength, and hope staying sober in the summertime. But before I do, I wanted to introduce a couple of our May exciting adventures we're going to be on. So our listener challenge for May is called Creative Expressions. So this month, I want to encourage you to express yourself through creative means. Now, if that is writing or painting or music, it's fine. I love to do flea market flip, where I take an old piece of furniture or something like that and turn it into something new, repurpose it. Sewing, quilting, knitting, woodworking is also not for just you guys out there, but also for you chicks. I love woodworking also, or any other art form. I need to slow down my speech. So, at the end of the month, what I want to do is feature some of these creations by my listeners on my website. So I started a new page on my website, and you can find it at recoverydailypodcast.com/recovery upcycling. And I started this because I have a lot of time on my hands, number one. Number two, my sobriety has just been filled with creative expression. One of the first things I started doing in sobriety was flea market flipping. And so I wanted to feature a bunch of my projects on there. So I've just started putting some pictures up. So there's a lot still to be done. And it would be fun if, when we get sober, we have a lot more time and we've got hands that need to be busy so they don't pick up drinks. At least that was my experience. So we do stuff, get more stuff done. And a lot of us will embrace some sort of artistic creation. So as it signifies, as sobriety signifies this transformative change, changing from something that either we ourselves or others have given up hope on, and we get sober and we become something that is more than we could even imagine that we would become. That's what I like to do with my crafts, my flea market flipping. So what this recovery upcycling project is, I'm working on new ones right now. I'm hoping to maybe make it a thing. What does that mean? I don't know. But we're going to start here. We're going to start with a page on my website, and I'm going to get a little more excited about these projects that I do and share them with other people, because really I do it for myself. I don't really show them off very much, and it feels good to share it with others because some of them are quite good. So I'm kind of excited about it. So I'll talk about that more as I get the website going and stuff like that. But so if you will take a picture, a before picture and an after picture of whatever project you choose to work on this month. That means that if you're knitting something or crocheting something, send me a picture of the ball of yarn, or take a picture of the ball of yarn. If you are a writer, you can take a picture of a blank screen. You can take a picture of a blank piece of paper. It doesn't matter to me. But showing me that you started with this and you ended up with this. And I'm excited to see what you create, and we'll see what happens. So, okay. And then next we have the book of the month. And let's see, I was not prepared to tell you what that book was. Give me 1 second, because I put that also on my website. So I'm going to pull that up real quick. Talk amongst yourselves. Talk amongst yourselves. Let's see here. Reads and recovery. So easy to navigate this website. I must be a real expert. Okay, and here we are. The book of the month for May is called Man's Search for Meaning. Man's Search for Meaning. And it's by Viktor Frankl. And he was a medical doctor in a psychiatric hospital in 1942 when he became a prisoner in Nazi concentration camps in World War II. In 1946, he published this book about his camp experience and a method for psychotherapy that he developed. And 45 years later, it was still named one of the most influential books in the United States. And I've started listening to the book. I'm just in the very beginning. And he actually wanted to publish it anonymously and just have his prisoner number as the author, but he felt that it would really he finally maybe was convinced that that was going to remove some of the value of the book, meaning like the impression that it's able to leave on people who are searching for meaning in their life. So he talks about his 3 years in 4 concentration camps, and those took the lives of his mom, his dad, his brother, and his wife. And he closely observed the inmates' reactions to their situation, as well as survivors when they came to terms with their liberation. In part 2 of the book, he introduces this psychotherapy method, that is called logotherapy. I don't know what that is yet, but it's an academic discussion of the psychological reactions experienced by all the inmates to one degree or another. And it solidifies Frankl's early theory that humanity's primary motivational force is finding meaning in one's life. And it's a book that was recommended by the last book that we read, not Stroke of Insight, the one that I'm always referencing, Identity Theft. It was referenced in there as a recommendation. My sister actually called me and recommended it as well. So I'm all in. I'm excited. As of 2022, this book has sold 16 million copies and has been published in 52 languages. So whatever adversity one would be experiencing, I think that this book is going to have a powerful impact on us. So I'm excited to keep going. It's not very long. I'm listening, of course, on Audible, and it is available on Audible. I will never have a book that is not available on Audible because that's the only way I can ingest it. And it's about a little less than 6 hours long, which is pretty short for an Audible book. Sometimes they're like, I don't know. I think I listened to one about Queen Elizabeth that was like 25 hours. It might have been more. It was a lot. So anyway, generally speaking, this is pretty short. So I'm excited about that. So those are the two things I think that I have to announce today, May 1st. So now we'll dive into summer sobriety, staying strong through sunshine and celebrations. So I have this kind of poetically in the beginning in my script. I'm like, yeah, the sun is like casting its shadows, and the warmth. Like I was just outside walking the dogs out there, and the sun is just like, it's, if I walk out my door, it's like the sun, it's like the surface of the sun right there at my front door. And I'm gonna be sick of that probably in a week, that like just intense sun beating down on me. But right now it's like so refreshing to feel that, when for so many months I've been walking outside and it's cold, and I've got my coat with the fur on the inside and everything. So there's just a lot of energy. I feel a lot of energy. I just love all of the green that's just popping out of the ground. I overseeded. I have this tiny little section of grass out front that had some dead grass from the bulldog who is right on the floor next to me, pottying on that grass. So we overseeded it. I overseeded it and have been watering it. And it's just these delicate little blades of grass are growing, and it just makes me feel good. I also decided that I was going to, instead of going to Home Depot and buying hundreds of dollars of plants, which I love to do, and potting them out on my back deck, this year we are planning on getting our deck redone. So I decided to get seeds. So I got a big bag of wildflower seeds on Amazon, and I just prepared the soil and I put wildflower seeds everywhere. And I walked out there today and they're just popping out all these different kinds of plants, flowers. I don't know what they're going to be. I mean, I have a list of it on the bag, but I can't tell. Like there's this one that is almost like a pod that's like bent over and it's cracked open, and there's these little like hairs on the inside. So it's exciting. You can tell it just brightens my whole freaking life to see things starting from nothing and becoming something. It's really fun to grow vegetables too. Last year I grew squash for the first time, and that was amazing to have nothing and then have this thing that I'm consuming. It was just amazing. So if I just stop right there and just reflect on all the joy that I find in the summertime, it's what is it, May 1st, and all that joy that I'm finding, and the summer hasn't even really begun. I think it's still spring, but this is what I enjoy in sobriety. This is just a perfect example of how much I respect my sobriety, and I need it so that I can feel this kind of joy. So what I'm about to talk about is a different kind of fun. It was, this was a time in my active drinking that I would be going to festivals, wine festivals, craft fest. I mean, you name it. I love me some festivals, but I wasn't doing anything but drinking at these festivals. I would only go to a festival where I could drink, number one. And number two, like I was more interested in what fluid was in my glass than anything else that was happening at the festival. I like the energy of the people of at festivals. I love being around that many people. Unfortunately, my husband does not like being around that many people, but he does it for me. I don't know if I'll be able to go to a festival this year. I haven't been able to go for several years now because I can't be around that much activity. But I can certainly remember what it's like. And maybe I can go and just walk down one aisle at a craft festival or something like that. I have to gauge and just adapt to what I can withstand. So other things that I used to do in the summertime were pool parties. I loved going to my neighbor's house, and and they would supply free alcohol, and I would just lay out at the pool. I was just everywhere I would go, I would just kind of sitting or laying and drinking my drink. Outdoor dinners. I love eating dinner outside. And so it's a challenge to maintain sobriety during this season for many. And I want to talk about how we can change that thought of maintaining sobriety during this season into celebrating sobriety in the heat of the summer. So the summer brings a unique set of challenges. Like I said, these festivals, vacations, right? Wow. Yeah, going to the beach. I mean, every memory I have of vacation, I am sitting around with a drink in my hand, no matter where I am, on the beach, on a cruise. Yeah, that's it. I think I was at the beach most of the time, and I've only been on a cruise once. But this is what Rachel version 1.0 did. There was just lots and lots of alcohol. I even got when my kids were younger and I had these blow up pools. Every year I had a blow up pool of some sort. And as the kids got older, the pool got bigger. And it would never make it to the next season because I didn't take care of it. Because why? Because typically, after I filled up the pool, or while I was filling up the pool, I already started drinking. So when everything was done, like I had no energy to actually take the pool down and take care of it. So it was just destroyed by the end of the summer. Half the time I was laying in the pool, the kids were not even around. And I had these little stakes, these little metal stakes that were like circular, and you could put your wine glass in it, and the stake stuck in the ground. So I could lay in the pool. I'm sure I was just not attractive laying in this pool, drinking my wine. I remember the kids not even being home, and I was laying in the pool, drinking my wine, and what a disaster. So being an alcoholic can be challenging year round, summer included. And these summer memories I have really tend to be my fondest memories. When I romance the drink, it's typically I'm romancing a summer memory. Some of those memories are keggers. I was known for having keggers. So I would just get a big old keg and invite as many friends that would come, and we would just try to destroy the keg and drink the keg. And what would follow that was usually Rachel deciding that she's going to go swimming in the neighborhood lake, which is disgusting. It was like filled like 2 feet. The bottom of the lake was filled with like sludge, like I think it was like goose crap or something. It was terrible. It was stinky. But what do I care? I was drunk. I remember the last time I did that, that probably happened about 4 times that I went swimming out in the pond or in the lake late at night. We would swim out to the fountain, whoever would join me out there. There was usually at least one other person who was stupid enough to go out there with me. And the last time I did it, I remember getting fearful that I wasn't going to be able to make it back to shore. And that was scary. And I never did it again. I ran out of the energy. So it was scary and it was stupid. And I understand how dangerous that sort of behavior is now. And it's regretful to me that I displayed that kind of behavior in front of younger people. I think one of them I did it and my kids were around, I think. So swimming in the neighborhood lake, not a good idea. Sitting in the yard with a glass of wine, that happened constantly. Beer on a hot day. I wasn't a big beer drinker towards the end because beer didn't have as much alcohol content in it as wine. So it filled me up too much. My goal was to be buzzed, to be drunk, not to consume liquid. So beer was something I drank less of. But on a hot day, an ice cold beer, that was good. And that's a memory that I have. Being thirsty just happens more in the summertime. And I have to have my beverage of choice, non-alcoholic, around and plenty of it. And that keeps me away from romancing the drink. I don't like to feel thirsty at all. So whether that is throwing down some water, I drank sparkling water for a really long time. And then I decided sparkling water with a little bit of strawberry lemonade in it is so good. I used to have a name for it. Oh, it was called a spritzer. That was my summer spritzer. Non-alcoholic, it was just a random strawberry lemonade. And I just did, about, half an inch of it at the top of the glass that I had already filled with a sparkling water. And it's a spritzer, and it was wonderful. And wine festivals. I went to a lot of wine festivals. So now I prefer to try to find these. I like fall festivals, but I prefer summer festivals with like crafts and stuff like that. So this is what's interesting that I was thinking about this morning. And that is that there's a lot of things that we practice in sobriety that happen over and over again. And it's challenging to do it for the first time when we get sober. And then for me, it's like, okay, I did it once. I'm good. I can do this every time. Like, for example, going to a happy hour, going out to dinner with people who are drinking, something like that. But summertime only rolls around once a year. And since I just celebrated 8 years of sobriety, that means, and I have the summer ahead of me, that means that I've only experienced summertime as a sober person 7 times. And I've been to a lot more happy hours than that, I think. Yeah, I'm sure that I have. So I still need to practice, right? I still need to practice being sober in this season, in each season, because I've only done it 7 times. And I don't think that's a lot. I'll be practicing my whole life because I don't know that I'm going to master it. But this morning, our reading was from Living Sober, as I said, and it was titled Looking Out for Overelation. And that reminded me that I'm still practicing not drinking when I'm happy, when I'm relaxed, when I'm celebrating, when I'm having fun. And it's easy to remember to guard against drinking when I'm stressed out or upset, because that just tends to be what people more correlate drinking with, I find, with I need to numb the things that don't feel good. Well, it's equally important to maintain vigilance in good times as well. One of the stories that I recently shared with you is when I went to San Francisco, and the whole week had gone by where I was managing this tens of thousands of dollars booth at a conference, and it was over, and I felt victorious. I felt like, oh, I felt like I can breathe again, like loosen up my shoulders. I just want to chillax and just enjoy something, give myself something as a reward. And that was a dangerous place for me to be in mentally. So I ended up, after much contemplation and walking around the block, recognizing that there are other ways for me to enjoy and celebrate my success. And so I ended up having a hot fudge sundae in a martini glass. I did not ask for the martini glass, by the way. They just gave it to me, and I was like, isn't that just the way? Give it to me in a martini glass. But it was probably more comforting and celebratory to eat that hot fudge sundae. It just was, because I felt good afterwards, because I had all that sugar pumping through my veins. So it was really a great choice on my part. So I pat myself on the back for that. And I have to remember that moment. That was my first. I talked about first. That was my first finding a way to celebrate, relax and celebrate without alcohol. And so now I can always look back on that memory and be like, you done good, Rach, you done good, and know that I can do it again. So let's talk about replacing old habits with new ones. For me, sorry, my Weimaraner is giving herself a bath, and I was like, what is happening over there? For me, my summer drinks that I love are a Slurpee from 7-Eleven, Coca-Cola flavor, or a snow cone. So I absolutely love them. They fulfill like that I'm thirsty thing. They give me sugar. I love me some sugar. There are some people in sobriety who try to stay away from sugar. I get it. It's replacing one habit with another habit. But I feel like I've given up so much in my life that if I want some sugar, I'm going to have some sugar. Daggone it. Damn it. So I just love crunching on a snow cone when it's super hot outside, and throwing down a Slurpee when I'm super thirsty is amazing. I was just talking about it the other day to my husband. I'm like, you know what I really want? a Slurpee. It's time. It's time for me to get a Slurpee. And if I don't drink the whole Slurpee, you can stick it in the freezer, and then I pull it out when it's frozen, and I use a grapefruit spoon, and I scrape at it and I eat it afterwards. So it's days. And so whenever I get a Slurpee, I get a big, gigantic one because it's days of enjoyment. So there are ways to celebrate without alcohol. And some things that we like to do is have a barbecue. Now I'm vegan. So we were actually talking about, should we get rid of our grill? I don't know what we're going to do. We do like to grill vegetables and mushrooms and stuff like that. So we'll see. But if not, grilling our food. I love to cook, as you know, and just make stuff and have people over and enjoy food. And I love being creative and making these different kinds of drinks like spritzers, or buying fresh fruit and putting it in sparkling water. I just love that. And it's such a good way to socialize. I'm such a better socializer without a drink in my hand. I'm more excited to talk about what's going on in my life. Another thing that I love to do in the summertime is go to the pool. And I wasn't able to do that last year, but I'm hoping that I will be able to walk to the pool and sit by the pool. I'm hoping that my glasses will help me to be able to do that. I might need to stay in the shade this year, but hopefully I can get out there. I just love being outside. I love summer sports, going to, let's see, last year I did push my limits and I went to play tennis with my daughter, and it was super fun. We were both terrible at it. Sorry, honey. Bailey. I'm allowed to say her name now because she was on the show. Sorry, Bailey, but we both sucked. And I like volleyball. Again, I like to go to the pool. Most of the time I'm sitting under a umbrella by the pool, but I do love to get in and just float around. I love to have a blow up thingy, floaty thing, and lay in that. So any way that I can refocus and be doing something is great for me. If I've got a beverage, a Coke, I have a Coke right now. I love Coke. I brush my teeth a lot, but I do like Coke. So having some sort of beverage and staying busy is, that's when I like to do my flea market flips, is in the summertime, because I can be outside and catch some rays, sunscreen, of course, and do things that are good for my brain and creative and fun and a little low key, since I do have a really low threshold for getting a headache. So that's some of the enjoyment that I have in the summertime. And when it comes to going places, going to celebrations, going to a dinner party, going to a pool party where other people are drinking, what I find to be the most important thing, the key thing for me to do, is to have a sober buddy, someone that understands that I'm an alcoholic and that I cannot drink at this event, and someone who really understands the disease, that it is an overwhelming obsession. And if I start feeling that, I have to go. I have to leave. And to this day, if I start feeling this, I don't want to be here, or these people have drank too much and now I'm not enjoying myself, I leave immediately. Gotta go. Thanks for, I had fun. Of course, I'm not like, you guys suck, I'm outie. But I I'm not afraid to say I have to leave. And it feels good. It feels so good to just say, it's time for me to go. I really had a great time. Thanks for having me, and walking out the door. It's almost like I can take a deep breath and be like, oh, I got what I need. Selfishly, I got what I needed from your event. I'm out of here now. I'm going to go enjoy my life. So every season comes with its own challenges for staying sober, and summer is no exception. So if you have these kind of romancing the drink ideas in the summertime, you're not alone. It's a perfect time, though, to practice enjoying the weather, the rebirth of nature, being present, looking around. There's so much life to enjoy in the spring and summertime. And I try to recognize that if I'm drinking, I'm numbing that part of me. I'm not able to actually take it all in. So keep your non-alcoholic drinks available. Keep them handy. Keep your sober buddies, supportive friends, folks who know that you have a critical disease that could take you out with just one drink. And keep those people around, and find new fun. Find fun in new traditions that you create. I'll leave you with this. One of my favorite things to do now is taking my two pooches out to the back porch, and I get a little baby pool. And my Weimaraner does not, interestingly enough, because she loves water, she doesn't really find a need to get in a baby pool. It's just not big enough for her. She's like, what's the point? My feet are wet. It's like walking through a puddle. But the English Bulldog loves getting in and out of the pool. He will get in the pool, and he just like does this with his big, gigantic teddy bear paws. And he just plays with things that are like floating. I'll put like a tennis ball in there, and he just plays with it and floats it around. So this year I got this pool that I swear is like 3 feet by 3 feet. It is super tiny, and it's only about 8 inches tall, and he loves it. So we went out there today, and I just sat there and watched him, and he had the best time. And I bring my Coke out there, and I drink my Coke, and I watch him, videotape him sometimes so I can post it for who I call the people on social media. And it's super fun. So I enjoyed doing that today. And that's all I have for you today. In about a half an hour, I'm leaving to go to my Garments 102 class, my sewing class. So I'm really excited to do that. And thanks for listening today. I will talk to you tomorrow.